Welcome to African News 24 TV, your source for news and reports from around the world. I'm Mary Adim and we're glad to have you join us this hour for updates on the latest stories making headlines. We'll begin in Plateau State, north-central Nigeria, where gunmen have abducted at least 28 travelers in the state. The victims, including men, women and children, were traveling from Zak village to Sabonlayi community on Sunday night to attend an Islamic event when they were attacked. The incident occurred around 8 p.m. on the outskirts of the community. Among those abducted are 2 princes and a religious leader who were leading the delegation. The gunmen reportedly took all the passengers and abandoned their vehicle by the roadside. The vehicle was discovered the next morning, prompting concern and a search by residents. Still in security, the governor of Lagos State, Babajide SANWO-OLU, has promised residents that the protection of their lives and property remains the primary responsibility of his administration. He was speaking during the groundbreaking ceremony of the office complex of the Lagos State Security Trust Fund in AGEGE, the state capital. SANWO-OLU described the project as a critical investment aimed at strengthening security coordination, accountability and institutional efficiency in the state. According to the governor, Lagos, as Nigeria's economic, commercial and tourism hub, requires a robust and well-coordinated security framework to sustain growth and public confidence. He said the new LSSTF complex would provide a permanent operational base for the trust fund and enhance collaboration among security agencies, the private sector and other stakeholders supporting security in the state. The governor commended renowned philanthropist and businessman Sir Kensington Adebutu for fully funding the construction of the facility, describing the gesture. Still in Lagos, but now in politics, the governor of Lagos State, Babajide SANWO-OLU, has been talking about his leadership style and those of the leaders in different levels of the state. SANWO-OLU maintains that whether political or technocratic, leadership in the state will continue to be guided by the will of the people and the imperative of results-driven governance. He was speaking during the swearing-in ceremony of the new chairman of AGEGE local government area of the state, Abdul Obasa, and the permanent secretary of the Lagos State Office of Transformation, Creativity and Innovation, Toyin Ademuyiwa. Our next report tells us more.
Lagos State Governor Babajide SANWO-OLU has sworn in Abdul Obasa as the chairman of AGEGE local government, alongside Toyin Ademuyiwa as the new permanent secretary of the Lagos State Office of Transformation, Creativity and Innovation. Speaking at the ceremony held at the Banquet Hall of Lagos House, Ikeja, the governor said effective governance is built on competence, integrity, and a clear commitment to service. The governor noted that the simultaneous swearing-in of a political office holder and a top technocrat reflects his administration's governing philosophy, where leadership is driven by results rather than titles.
I urge you to lead inclusively, to not divide your people with the lines of group or form or people that have supported you or didn't support you. You need to work with your legislation and work with your traditional institutions.
Addressing the new chairman of AGEGE local government, SANWO-OLU said local government remains the closest tier of governance to the people and must be people-centered, inclusive and responsive. Responding, Chairman Abdul Obasa assured residents of AGEGE of an inclusive administration anchored on unity and fairness. He said ongoing reconciliation efforts within the local government will be sustained, adding that infrastructure, social services, and development programs under his leadership will benefit all residents without discrimination.
So for us, we are running a government that is in unison, a government that is bringing everyone together. We are not discriminating, because at the end of the day, everybody enjoys the roads, everybody enjoys the schools, everybody enjoys the health schools, everybody enjoys the improvements we are doing across board. So there's no differentiation, there's no discrimination against anyone. We are making sure AGEGE is greater for everyone living within it.
Away from Lagos, The federal government has dismissed claims that Nigeria's newly enacted tax reform laws were altered after the passage by the National Assembly, insisting that only one authentic version exists. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said the laws currently in circulation are exactly the versions passed by both chambers of the National Assembly and assented to President Bola Tinubu, describing allegations of multiple or amended versions as unfounded. Idris noted that the tax reforms follow due process, including consultations, legislative debates, and presidential assent. Concerns had been raised by some lawmakers, including claims that provisions contained in the gazetted laws differed from what was debated and approved by Parliament. The controversy prompted calls within the House of Representatives for an investigation into the legislative process that produced the laws. However, the federal government maintained that the executive did not tamper with the legislation, stressing that any issues relating to discrepancies fall within the purview of the National Assembly. The government also reaffirmed plans to begin implementation of the new tax laws from January 1, 2026, as earlier announced. Meanwhile, the National Assembly is expected to review the concerns raised by lawmakers to determine whether any inconsistencies exist and what corrective steps, if any, are required. Welcome to business. The Naira opened the trading week on a stronger note on Monday, appreciating against the United States dollar at the official market to trade at 1,456 Naira 56 kobo. Data released by the Central Bank of Nigeria showed that the Naira gained 7 Naira 93 kobo. This represents a 0.5% gain when compared to Friday, December 19, when the local currency traded at 1,464 Naira 49 kobo to a dollar. The gain represents an improvement for currency which experienced depreciation in the previous week. Nigeria's oil revenues have fallen short by a staggering 16.2 trillion naira, sparking fresh concerns about the country's fiscal health and its ability to meet budgetary obligations. According to official figures, crude oil sales, traditionally the backbone of Nigeria's economy, failed to meet the projected targets for the fiscal year. Analysts attribute the shortfall to a combination of factors, including declining global oil prices, persistent crude theft in the Niger Delta, and production disruptions caused by aging infrastructure and insecurity in oil-producing regions. On the foreign scene, U.S. launches $3,000 Leave Voluntarily immigration plan. The United States government has unveiled a new immigration initiative offering undocumented migrants $3,000 if they agree to voluntarily return to their home countries. The program, announced by the Department of Homeland Security, is being piloted through the CBP Home app and will run until the end of the year. Officials said the plan is designed to ease pressure on immigration facilities, reduce deportation costs, and encourage humane exit for migrants who are not eligible to remain in the country. And in sports, ahead of their Group C opener at the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON, Tanzania's head coach Miguel Gamandi has described the prospects of beating Nigeria as the equivalent of lifting the trophy itself. Speaking to reporters, Gamandi acknowledged the daunting challenge of facing the three-time African champions, but insisted that his squad is motivated to make history. He admitted Nigeria's strength, particularly in attack led by Victor Osimhen, but emphasized that his team must give more than 100% to neutralize the Super Eagles. The Taifa stars have featured in 3 AFCON editions, 1980, 2019 and 2023, but are yet to record a single victory. Their clash against Nigeria will mark their 10th AFCON match, with hopes of finally breaking the winless streak. Ahead of their opening match of the new Africa Cup of Nations campaign, the federal government has fulfilled its housing and land pledges to Super Eagles players for the runner-up finish at the 2023 AFCON in Côte d'Ivoire. The National Sports Commission confirmed this via a statement. President Bola Tinubu has pledged the rewards to the Super Eagles following the second-place finish at the 2023 AFCON held in January-February 2024. Speaking during the presentation, NSC Chairman Shehu Diko said all players will receive MON except Ahmad Musa and Victor Osimhen, who were awarded Order of the Niger (OON) honors on account of having member of the Order of the Niger (MON) earlier, while William Trustekong was awarded MFR for being named as player of the tournament. Diko added that the national honors, houses and land allocations approved by Tinubu have been processed, with allocation letters issued in line with the President's commitment to reward excellence and national service. The NSC chairman also revealed that the rewards of houses, national honors and cash awards of $100,000 awarded by Tinubu to the Super Falcons and the Tigers have been processed, with a title document to the houses and national honors certificates are available for collection. Welcome to entertainment. Fuji music icon Wasiu Ayinde, popularly known as Kwam1, has lost his legal bid to halt the ongoing selection process for the AWUJALE of Ijebuland. In a ruling delivered by the court, the judge dismissed Kwam1's application seeking an injunction to stop the process, holding that the claimant failed to provide sufficient grounds to warrant judicial interference at this stage. The court noted that issues surrounding traditional succession are guided by established customs and relevant laws. The judge further emphasized that courts are often cautious about intervening in chieftaincy and traditional matters unless there is clear evidence of a breach of law or procedure. As such, the selection process was allowed to continue unhindered. The ruling is seen as a boost for the kingmakers and the stakeholders involved in the AWUJALE selection, who have insisted that due process is being followed in line with Ijebu traditions. In other news, streaming platform Twitch has suspended the account of popular Nigerian comedian and content creator Carter Efe just days after he hosted a record-breaking live stream featuring Afrobeat superstar Davido. In a notification sent to the comedian, Twitch said the action followed a review of activities on his account, stressing that all users must comply with the platform's terms of service and community guidelines. According to Twitch, the sanction is a global suspension which has temporarily restricted Carter Efe's access to all Twitch services. The platform also warned that repeated violations could attract stiffer penalties, including longer suspensions or a permanent ban. The notice read in part, "Hello Carter Efe. Twitch is committed to keeping our community safe for everyone, and as a part of that we require all users to ensure that anything shared on their accounts abides by Twitch's terms of service and community guidelines. Based on a review of your activity or content, we have issued a global suspension on your account. As a result, your access to Twitch services is temporarily restricted. Please be aware that repeated violations may lead to more serious actions on your account, including longer temporary suspensions or permanent suspension." End of quote. The suspension comes shortly after Carter Efe hosted a highly publicized live stream on December 17, 2025, which drew massive attention online. The stream featuring Davido helped propel the comedian to become Africa's most followed Twitch streamer, with his follower count surpassing 405,000. Confirming the development on Monday, CAF disclosed that Twitch placed a 4-month suspension on his account over alleged violations of the platform rules, though specific details of the breach were not disclosed. That concludes our news broadcast at this hour on African News 24 TV. Thank you for tuning in. Stay connected with us on our last social media platforms, and don't forget to visit our website at africannews24.ng for the latest updates. We'll be back with more news at 3 p.m. I'm Mary Adam. Do have a fruitful day ahead. Goodbye.